What's going on, guys? It's Colin here for NextGenTactics, and I'm bringing you some more PC Battlefield Bad Company 2 gameplay. We're playing Conquest on Nelson Bay, and I am running as the medic. And I don't think that in all of my videos that I've posted, I don't know if I've ever posted one where I play as medic, so enjoy. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to go cap the A flag, and I'll show you the route that I like to take here up the left-hand side to go after C. And what happens on PC, you know, where you get 16v16, a lot of times each team will cap their two near flags, and then it just becomes a back and forth battle for the kind of the no man's land, I guess, in between the two sets of flags. But in this game, what I want to try and do is push up and help the team cap C, so we can get them triple capped and bleed the tickets so it doesn't turn into this long, drawn-out slugfest in the middle of the map. And that's kind of exactly what we do. But I don't like to flank all the way up the left-hand side here to get to C. I prefer to cut in. I'll go left for a while, then cut in and kind of head up the middle. I find there's more cover, and you don't have to take this suicide run across that riverbed. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I am a little bit aggressive, given that I'm running around with an LMG, but you know, I'm trying to play the role and also get kills. So I'm being a selfish medic. I'm running a red dot sight, and I'm running Magnum ammo. So I know I'm a bad kid. I should be running, you know, the improved health upgrade, improved healing, and actually I don't know if in this game I had the improved medic range, so give me a break on that one, but should have been going without the red dot sight, and I actually did in the previous round. But what I found was that just on Nelson Bay there was so much long range shooting, and it just helps me out a little bit. So anyway, we capped the C flag, and I'm just going to kind of circle in behind to pick off any stragglers who are trying to cap it and take us. And right here, I get exactly what's coming to me. I'm going to stand here and challenge a sniper with my LMG. I realize that I pissed away my grenade already, and I'm going to take one right in the dome. So I should have run away. I should not have stayed in that engagement. That was a boneheaded maneuver, but I was feeling lucky. And another thing about this game is that I don't make any diabolically terrible revives, I don't think. So that's another reason I wanted to post this up as kind of an example of how I would play medic when I do play medic, which again is rare. But, you know, I'm using the Type 88, which is one of my favorite LMGs. You know what, like, the more that I've played this, because what I was trying to do is basically rank up all my kits to have all the weapons I want. Right here I do revive a guy out in the open, a little bit risky, but I wanted the help cap in the base back, so more bodies on the flag means you cap it faster. So that was my intention there. But I was basically going through, and on PC I want to rank up all my kits so that I have all the weapons I want in the event that I have to pick up a certain kit out of necessity. Now, I normally don't go medic. I'm usually assault or engineer, but, you know, if the team needs one, I want to have the guns that I want at my disposal. That was kind of redundant. Department of Redundancy Department calling, you know, they want their commentary back. But right here, I do, and I kind of do what I talked about in another video, and I realized I wasn't going to win the gunfight, so I just ran away. Do not be afraid to run away. And I know now that we've got them triple capped, that they're going to spawn over on that D flag, so I'm just going to kind of sit here, and I'm trying to spot enemies as much as possible. But one thing that I've noticed on PC is that the hit detection isn't the best, and I don't know if you want to call it hit detection, but the spotting detection isn't all that hot either. So occasionally, you know, you can have your reticle right on an enemy and be spamming the Q button, and no, I'm not spamming it so many times that it overheats. You know, I'll hit it once with the red dot right on them and they don't spot. So I am trying to spot as much as possible, and that's actually something that, you know, in all like the back to basics and I think all the Battlefield videos, I just kind of let that basically be a sort of an unspoken rule. But I've noticed a lot of lower level players coming into the game recently on all platforms, so I just wanted to make sure that I pointed out that you always want to spot your enemies, especially if you're playing in core mode, because if you don't get them, that helps your team pick them off. So you're helping everyone out. And on the PC, that's the Q button, it's the back button on Xbox, and it's the select button on PS3. So get used to spotting. As soon as you sight in on someone, before you, often before I even pull the trigger, you know, if I can't pull the trigger and simultaneously spot, I'll opt to spot first. But, you know, I've gotten to the point now, it eventually becomes a reflex that as soon as you're sighted in, you're tapping your spot button as you shoot. And that's just a really good habit to get into. Now, in core mode, where you don't light them up with a red triangle over your head and you don't have a mini-map, it's not as important. But in core mode, the team that spots the team that is more effective at spotting, oftentimes they're going to win the game. And you don't have to be a recon player to spot people. You can sit there with your handgun and spot players. So, if everyone's out and doing that, and whenever they see an enemy, they're looking around the horizon and spotting people, you don't need recons. It's not as important of a kit. And you know that I'm not a fan of running the recon kit myself, but a lot of players like to do it, and if they're sitting way back, they'll make the excuse that I'm spotting. Well, anyone can spot. I can sit back in my spawn and point my handgun at the horizon and spot enemies. So do it. Any kit can do it. So take advantage of it, and you get rewarded with points. So why wouldn't you? Anyway, a couple of points on running the medic kit. If you want to be a nice guy, then you can essentially equip some of the medic-specific specs, which would be the improved healing and the upgraded range on your health packs. But anytime I'm spotting in, what I'll try and do is find a point of cover close to where I spawned and drop a health pack there. Occasionally I'll forget, but I think in this game I'm doing pretty well at remembering to drop the health kits. And that's important. So, whenever you're in a confrontation where the two teams are kind of duking it out, like right here, my teammate's behind cover, I'm going to toss a health pack for him because I don't know if he's in a gunfight or not, and drop back and revive that other teammate so that we can maintain this strong presence on the C flag. And I actually switched to the ACOG scope just to kind of try it out because I was getting a lot of hit markers, and I just wanted to be able to maybe try and pull off a few more headshots at long range. But the ACOG scope on this thing, the 4x, it really amplifies the kick on the weapon. So I don't think I'll be using much ACOG on these LMGs or on the PC in general, actually. I find that I can be precise enough with even a red dot or the iron sights. Now, red dot seems to have the opposite effect in that it helps reduce the recoil, and I see that we're getting kind of towards the end of the game here, but ACOGs are going to amplify it, so I would rather go with iron sights if there's a better first spec that I want to use. Sometimes, I want to run the lightweight kit or maybe ammo or grenade upgrades, something along those lines. But otherwise, red dot sight, I do prefer that over the ACOG. And when I first started playing, because I was more of a longer range player, long to mid-range assault type player, I used a lot of 4x. But, you basically have to figure out what setup suits your style best, and again, I would opt not to use the ACOG if I had a do-over on this game, but it doesn't hurt us too badly. And kind of going back in time a little bit, one mistake that the other team made, and it essentially cost them the game, was that they spent way too much time trying to uproot us and fight for that C flag, and we had sort of an imbalanced amount of our team defending that. And what they should have done was pushed around and just basically flanked behind us and taken A or B. So they had the D flag and we had A, B, C. So had they gone behind us and grabbed A or B, then that would have pulled us back off C. They could have capped that. And eventually I think they get us even triple capped here towards the end. So it was just too little too late. And if you're playing Conquest and your team is struggling to take a flag, then focus on another flag. That's a little bit tougher on some of the 3-flag maps, but when you're looking at 4-flag maps, like Nelson Bay here, like a Panama Canal, something like that, it's pretty easy to go grab another flag, and that gives your team another spawn point, which is less predictable. You're not all coming from one area, and when they had that D flag cap, they only had 2 places that they could come at us from, their own deployment or the D flag, so it was really easy for us to pin them down and hold them back. But, eventually they did flank, and they picked up the B flag, and when we went to grab that, they grabbed the A flag. So had they been more active that way and been smarter about the flags they were capping, this would have been a more competitive game. So don't get hung up on one flag. I know that you'll kind of get the rage mentality where it's like, oh, I'm going to take this flag, but that's not necessarily the best thing for your team. And we're kind of winding down here, so I'm just going to sweep around, and I know that they're spawning in and around the A flag. I get myself a nice shiny set of gold dog tags before the round ends, and I don't know how. Just watch this. It's coming. Right here. I don't know how I won that gunfight, but he must have basically just spazzed out and missed his entire clip. I don't know. And I think we only have a couple of tickets left. The game is essentially over, and now I am simply point whoring and picking up some revives before the end of the match because I am trying to, as I said, rank up this kit. And I do now have the MG36C unlocked. That's the gun I wanted. I don't really care about the MG3. So for my kits, obviously Assault and Engineer on the PC are fully ranked up, and I have Recon to the point where I have the VSS. I don't have the M95, and I don't care. And on Medic, I don't have the MG3, and I don't care, but I have everything else unlocked. So let me know if you want to see a particular kit set up. I'll play around for fun. I mean, obviously, this game's been out forever, and I'll play some other games, bring you some other content, but for now, I'm just tooling around, enjoying playing this on PC. It is fresh. But let me know, what would you like to see? I still have to play some Battlefield 2. I'm looking forward to that, but I just haven't had the time to invest in figuring it out. So anyway, guys, that's it for me, and hope you enjoyed. Cheers. We'll talk soon.
Hey guys, we now have our own website. Actually, we've always had our own website, but why not follow us on there? There you'll find all our videos conveniently sorted into playlists by game, as well as videos from many other directors that are part of our NGT network.